ringing the bell.
Ringing the bell for the Salvation Army.
And whereabouts on
We're
Market
going to be
Basket.
at Market Basket Westgate, and we are inviting everybody to come by.
We'll be there from 3 to 5.
We want that bucket to be stuffed with money.
And if you donate,
all for the great cause of the Salvation Army.
And if you don't donate $5 or more, Bill Macek will give you a kiss.
No, you come up with these crazy ideas.
I think that would be well worth it.
No, I thought we were going to do, if somebody puts $5 or more in, we're going to put their name into the cowboy hat, and whoever gets picked out gets a date with you.
As long as they pay.
Pay $5.
No. They have to pay for the date.
That's $5. They're like buying.
I know, but they're not buying a date for $5.
They're buying a ticket.
Yeah, they're buying a ticket to win a date.
Yeah, well, that's Bill Ellis.
Well, Bill told me his secret, because he never drank. He said he used to go. The bars would close at 1. Bill would show up at the bar at 12:15 and look for the girls with the glassy eyes. And
what's this? Fake news. Fake news.
And you don't drink, so you wouldn't buy.
Fake news.
You never did that?
Totally untrue. I don't know where you like have these stories that you just come up with. You know,
I'm psychic.
Psychic.
Remember we had a psychic on here.
Did you say psycho?
That could be construed as that too.
Yeah. But we did have a psychic on.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we're going to bring her back because you didn't get your future told, and neither did I.
She did.
She said, told your future?
She did. She said all she saw for me was a dark room. I said that can't be promising.
Probably.
I asked get the lights.
I said if anybody in the room.
No light. It could be a casket. That could be.
Now see, that's so morbid, Billy.
Well,
here I'm trying to be humorous, and you bring in morbidity.
Oh, all right. Well, look, we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back.
Gentlemen.
Brian, thank you for calling in. Laura's name is Into the Hat. And
we'll keep our fingers crossed.
You can keep your fingers crossed because I'm going to stay neutral.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you later.
Gentlemen, have a good evening.
Okay.
Goodbye.
So we're going to call you Mr. Switzerland.
All right. That's right. And now we're going to take a break for some important words, and we'll be right back with more of the Open Mic Show, heard every Monday night right here and only on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
This spot could have been yours. Support WHAV's local approach with your underwriting. Go to WHAV.net and click on advertising to reach thousands of new customers.
Catch the wave!
When the Haverhill School Committee meets, 97.9 WHAV FM is there live from Haverhill City Hall. Class sizes, special education, teacher hiring, and spending are among the topics covered Thursday nights at 7 when the school committee is in session. Presented as a public service from 97.9 WHAV FM.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
Community Spotlight.
The halls of Haverhill High School will soon be alive with holiday music. The school's band and chorus are putting the finishing touches on their annual holiday concert, set for Thursday, December 6th in the school auditorium, 137 Monument Street. The student performance, under the direction of John Salvi and Dean Siropoulos, takes place 7 to 8:15 p.m., and all are welcome. Submit your own nonprofit events and announcements at least 3 weeks in advance. For best results, use the online form under the Contact tab at WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Now we're back on the Open Mic Show
We
on
are back.
WHAV. We are back every Monday night, and we're here 6 to 8. I need to mention something that I forgot to mention earlier, which is very important, and that's in the second hour. We're going to have a number of special guests from the historic Highlands Neighborhood Association here in Haverhill, and they have a lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to be proud of. The police just gave them the Citizens of the Year award.
Wow.
So that and many other things are going to be discussed, and they really do a top-notch job as a neighborhood organization. They go beyond their neighborhood. They help out the city in other ways. So I should be doing all those things. Just a little promo as to why people should listen and stay on for the second hour. And they're just such an example of what is being a good neighbor and how to work as a community neighborhood group. So anyway, with that being said, we'll look forward to them right after the 7 o'clock top of the hour news and information right here on WHAV, and only on WHAV.
Exactly.
That's right.
Well, Billy, we lost
think
the
it's
former
important.
president over the weekend.
Oh yeah, I know. One of the Bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Number 41,
Yep. And he had a double middle name.
Herbert Walker.
Yeah, I always thought that was interesting.
And he was born in Milton, Massachusetts.
George H.W. Bush.
Yeah.
Yep. And
He's a local boy.
yeah, and a lot of people forgot that he was a vice president.
Under Ronald Reagan.
Under
He
Ronald
actually
Reagan.
ran against Ronald Reagan
Yeah.
and lost, and then Reagan took him on.
Yeah.
And
And,
one of the
and who was his vice president?
Dan Quayle.
That's right,
Yeah.
Dan Quayle. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was watching some news about President Bush in 41, right? He was 41.
He was number 41.
Yeah, and there was Dan Quayle as part of the cut. I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot that Dan Quayle."
And what would he become famous for?
Dan Quayle, probably something that he would rather not be famous for.
Right. What word did he misspell?
Oh yeah, what word did he misspell?
Potato.
Potato. That's right.
Spelled it with an E.
Yeah.
And they lambasted him.
T-O-E.
But that's
On the end.
it's the liberal media. But when Barack Obama talked about the 57 United States,
Yeah.
they gave him a pass.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Never really got mentioned.
No.
Yeah. Well, but who was the president that had trouble golfing? That was
Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford. Right.
He
Yeah,
couldn't walk
was-
and chew bubble gum.
Yeah, he was famous for bad golf.
He stumbled a few different times.
Hey, we have a call. Our producer Chris says we have another call, and it's nice to know.
Well, why don't
haven't
we do
even-
like the
we
big
haven't
radio
even given
stations
out-
do? Make them wait an hour.
Yeah, no, we shouldn't do that.
okay.
The 978-374-1900 is the
It's
number
funny,
to
you never
call.
gave the number, and we're already
Isn't
getting
that good?
calls.
That means we're working up the pole here.
We sure are.
Yeah, go
Hello,
on.
caller. How are you this evening?
Hello, caller.
Oh, very good, thanks. How are you guys?
Very good.
Great. You ready for
Hey,
Christmas?
This is Mark, Bill. I called you last week. We were trying to discuss a little bit about the salt restricted
Oh,
area.
and you know what? I told you I'd do my homework, Mark. I do have some information for you.
Excellent.
Yeah? You want to hear it? You want to ask a question, or you want me to just tell you what I found out?
Yeah, let's just go over. Let's see what we come up with from last week.
Okay, well, what I found out was that the salting that's going on in the area of our reservoir is not, because I was told by somebody else, because if they're used, there's three kinds, or at least I heard of three kinds of salt. There's calcium chloride, there's, what's the other kind? Anyway, the regular salt, sodium chloride, and there's also what they use, and that's magnesium chloride. And they're now using a brine mix so that it's there's no sand involved, and it was at the request of the Haverhill Police Department due to the icing of the roads that at least one of the applications went down. Now, in speaking to that came from the Highway Department, And speaking to, and also the highway director was going to go out and check to see if there were any signs up in the area. I said, I do recall, I don't know if they're still there, but I recall at one time there were signs that said no salt area. And so that the plow drivers might be aware, but he also said that he is aware that even when they went out in that area, they used the lowest amount of spreading as the spreaders will allow, and that he would make sure that that continued. Now, over in the northern Essex on Canosa, over in their kind of their back, with the road that runs between the back of their school and or the side of their school and the reservoir, that also is an area that should be not treated except if there's some type of safety issues that go along with the storm. I spoke also to the Bob Ward, who runs the water and wastewater departments, very knowledgeable, and he said that there is no, they constantly are checking their water, in the lab setting, and that Haverhill does not have any kind of salt problem with the drinking water.
I mean, I feel that, all right, because of the Opportunity Works is open there, we do have a lot of vehicles coming back and forth all the time, and I guess everybody's in fear of them slipping and sliding and landing in the woods. I do recall it was actually Monday or Tuesday of last week.
Yeah.
Early in the morning, we had an icing situation. I live right on 110, and we had cars spinning out in the middle of the road. Now, actually, the city took care of that issue, but I did watch it go right by here with rock salt. They were putting down rock salt. Now, my neighbor left for his job at the ski area, and he passed that truck putting down rock salt.
It's magnesium. It's magnesium chloride. It's not rock salt. It may look like rock salt, but it's actually a different product.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think then maybe if we have to do that part of it. Maybe the swale that's gullied out and all that runoff that's going into the lake. Maybe some attention should be taken to that. If we
that swale and the retention pond, which has been overgrown and probably should be cleared of some of the. I also discussed this with somebody. The retention pond that has a lot of overgrowth in it right now, that does not direct into the reservoir. It directs out and into the little river there. So
that's fine. I don't feel that the retention pond poses a problem at all. I think it's the immediate salt coming off the roadway going down through the gully that's eroded.
But that swale does not go into the reservoir. It takes it away from the reservoir.
No, but there's a ditch that's been ground through the side of the banking of the road. It's right across from where the basketball court used to be. There's a gully there. It's 1.5 feet deep. It's that's where the runoff's all going down through. Maybe we should try to get in there and retain it so that at least the soil.
It's the wrong time of year to get in there and really do any serious work. But I will guarantee you that in the spring, I'll make a note of it. You're welcome to call me back. Be sure I'm on it, and I will see that we kind of update. Because it is getting old, and
it is. It's really washed out. It's really eroded, and that's where the gully and the water. And with this torrential rain, it cleaned the street right off and said
it needs to be maintained. What was there needs to be maintained, maybe even improved. Because I'm with you. I don't want to see our drinking water exposed to anything more than it already is. From what normally happens.
So we've gotten upon that subject. Now the next thing is, do they propose to build a parking lot right there next to our water?
There is a parking lot that is being to be built, but I actually spoke to the retired Mass DEP engineer who called in and actually negotiated with John Dimitri, who ran the college at the time the first parking lot was put in, and he's the one that told me about all of this protective swales and retention ponds and then it running out away from the reservoir. So and also there's a no sand policy in that parking lot that has been there now for a while, and there should be a no sand policy in the new parking lot. So I haven't been able yet to find out what the design is of that new parking lot and if conservation but I would like to think that they've already made all of the necessary precautions, because this is their job, to make sure that we don't have any potential pollutants going into our reservoir. But that is, at least if they follow suit from what was already done for the first lot in that area,
Right.
this new lot should be on the same standard or better.
You know, being a neighbor of the college, I never actually ever see that parking lot full. I don't understand why they need to propose to put a new parking lot with more vehicle chemicals leaking right at the edge of our reservoir. Why would we go through all that?
I don't know. I don't know if they're planning a new building.
Parking lot, half of it's empty all the time.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes get down there and I see that parking lot always has spaces available. It's a pretty large. It's a pretty large area.
You invite the vehicles in that are leaking oil and fluids all over the place. It's not. If you were just going to put straight sand, I don't think that would pose such terrible risk. It's all the vehicles leaking liquids that are overflowing.
But do you think there's a lot of vehicles that leak oil anymore? I mean, when I was a kid and I had cars, unless they're all driving Harley Davidsons.
No, absolutely not.
But anyway, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you that we should be precautious.
When it was first proposed, that whole scenario was proposed to be done and cleaned and graded within 2 weeks. Now we've gone into a muddy mess. If there were I'm very familiar with construction. I have to put a silt fence up to stop all this mud.
Yeah.
There's a mud hole down there. And I don't know why nobody had to put any silt barrier. I mean, they're doing the work right down here at the water department, and they put silt barriers in areas that weren't even necessary. Over here, we're right abutting our drinking water supply.
I'll check into this. I will check into this and see what I can find out for this time of year. But we'll get back to it. All right?
All I do is lay that silt
No,
fence
we'll talk
right
again on this. Give me a couple of weeks, and we'll talk, okay?
Bill, I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem whatsoever. Because, all right, no, we're going to take a break. Thank you very much for calling.
All right, very good.
Okay, see ya. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back, and we'll talk more in this first hour as we get ready for the neighborhood association that's coming in. It's the Highlands area, historic Highlands
There's a
neighborhood
lot of people
association.
coming in from there.
Beautiful area, and they're doing their job to make sure that their section of Haverhill stays right, but also spreading out. And we'll talk a lot more about that in the 7 o'clock hour, right here and only on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
It's 6:35.
The Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom turns out local programs every day and night. Tune in for local news, Community Spotlight, and the Open Mic Show. 97.9 WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source. There's always more at WHAV.net.
Catch the wave!
On air or online, 97.9 WHAV serves you. Twice an hour weekdays, keep up to date with exclusive local news and weather. Find out about civic events on Community Spotlight every quarter hour. And better prepare with wave weather every 30 minutes. Mass Moments, Melinda's Garden Moment, Soundbeat, and Insight Daily complete the spectrum. Hear classic comedy and drama 7 nights a week at 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. Finally, a unique blend of rock and roll hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s round out the entertainment. Stay with 97.9 WHAV, the only Haverhill-based news source.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
Wave weather!
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. A few days with a lot of sunshine around, but still on the chilly side of things. Dropping to 30 degrees, partly cloudy, and about a 5 to 15 mile per hour northwest breeze tonight. Will be around 10 to 20 miles per hour, making wind chills feel like they're in the low 20s. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 34. A very cold Tuesday night, clear skies, a low around 15. And then warming to the freezing mark, full sunshine all Wednesday long. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Hey, we are back. And you know how many weeks it is till Christmas? Just about 3.
Christmas of 2018?
Yeah.
There's 3, and then there's 55
till
till Christmas of 2019. So I'm just way ahead of you, Bill. Just keep... it's
really
fast knowledge here,
there.
Billy.
Yeah.
You
are so fast. You figured that out on your own?
No, I got a piece of paper here. It's got written
help.
down.
Yeah.
No, this is about calling Santa. I'm all excited about this because I had a lot of fond memories.
Are you going to call?
I have called.
You're going to call?
And he hung up on me.
Oh, this number?
No, the other Santa Claus. I call right up to the North Pole.
There's another Santa Claus?
There's 2 Santa Clauses.
There's 2?
There's Santa Claus and his brother Sam T. Claus.
He's not the real one, Sam T.
No, I think he's a...
there's only one Santa Claus. What are you talking crazy now? You're going to make the kids...
You don't think there's somebody named Sam T. Claus?
I don't know,
I'll bet
but
you
that's
that there
not
is.
Santa Claus.
No, I understand that. But
don't tell me there's no Santa Claus. Or that
there is a Santa Claus.
Two.
Although,
you really upset me.
I did read over the weekend that there was a first grade teacher that told her class that there was not a Santa Claus. Imagine telling that to
making
kids.
Stuff up. Fake news, right?
Bill, I hate to break it to you.
No. All right, move on with the announcement, will you?
Yeah, but that's a sad thing with the teacher would say that. So here at WHAV, you have an opportunity to leave a message for Santa Claus by calling 978-361-3930. 97.9 WHAV FM has made special arrangements with the North Pole to provide a local connection to jolly old St. Nick's private voicemail box. Yeah, that's old Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He's at the modern times now.
Right.
He's got also one of those little Apple watches that he wears.
Yeah.
And what he does is, the Apple Watch is pretty neat, because he'll do in one night more steps than he'll do in a whole lifetime, or a whole year, I should say.
Yeah. Oh, it counts. It
counts everything.
It's like a Fitbit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And he'll and it's funny. He's the only guy in all that exercising that he does, and all traveling across the world, he gains weight that night.
Because it's so many cookies
It's
and
exactly
glasses
what
of
it
milk.
is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
all the food that's left out for him.
What do you leave off for Santa?
The cookies and milk.
Now, somebody told me you left out a cigar.
No, I don't have a cigar in my house, and I don't drink, so I don't even have alcohol.
I didn't bring up alcohol. I brought up cigar.
Yeah, you
I said
were
cigar.
going there. You did. I could read your mind.
Not me.
Yeah.
You can't. If you read my mind,
but some
you
people,
wouldn't have me on the show anymore.
Some people do leave him a little nip, right?
They do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to read the rest of this, and then we have a call.
Go ahead. All right.
So parents or guardians should place the call and leave a callback number in case verification is needed. Say you're giving permission for a child to be heard on the air, and then hand the phone to the child and to leave a message or a greeting to Santa Claus. And take note that not all the calls will be aired, and messages may be edited for length or clarity. Again, 978-361-3930. And the kids have a chance to leave a message for jolly old St. Nick.
All right, say that number one more time.
978-361-3930.
3930.
Yes.
You know, we should also mention that Santa Claus is going to be here on the 17th, taking live calls from kids.
And also on the 17th.
That's our Christmas show, because we're not going to be live on air on Christmas
24th.
Eve. That would be a week later. And then by the time we come back,
17th is a big day for us.
It's over, Bill.
We have Santa Claus.
It's over.
But that's right too. That's actually we're going to be on New Year's Eve.
I don't know. You know, I'm okay. 6 to 8.
That we could do something like that.
We'll talk about it.
A little champagne in the studio, and we'll talk about the year. Because going into
January, I don't care about the champagne.
Why?
I'm not a drinker.
No.
Mistletoe, maybe. Bring in some mistletoe for you.
You and me?
No, that's not what I said.
Well, you bring it for me. What good is it?
Your head.
What good is it if I put it over my head?
I'm a married man, Bill.
I understand that.
You're
Billy.
not. You're single.
Bill Clinton was married.
I'm not like him.
But the 17th is also big. From 3 to 5, we're going to be at Market Basket.
We've got a caller we got to take.
Oh, I'm sorry, caller.
You just get on these fake news rambles and just go
about
on
Bill
and
Clinton?
on.
No, that was true about Bill.
No, certain things.
All right, we'll talk about Market Basket
in a bit. Let's go to our caller and find out what they want.
Hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Santa doesn't exist, huh?
Yeah.
I say Santa does exist.
Santa does exist. I didn't say Santa didn't exist.
Exist.
I didn't say. I said Santa's going to be here. The real Santa Claus is going to be here in 2 weeks
I can't wait.
On the 17th.
Fun week.
It will be, and we're going to be ringing the bell at Market Basket Westgate between 3 and 5 that afternoon. Before our show, we're going to be out there trying to raise some money for the Salvation Army.
Nice.
Yeah.
My mother used to say, "He who doesn't believe doesn't receive." So we believed in Santa Claus until I was 37 years old.
You gotta believe. Everybody's gotta believe in Santa Claus.
Absolutely.
I mean, you never know where that cane's gonna end up and what house you're gonna find that cane in.
You never know. You never know.
You know, it might be your dream house waiting for you.
It could be.
You never ever know.
You just never
gotta
know.
always
Right.
Keep an eye on that.
Right.
And don't believe what the
And the other reason,
he flies below that.
The other thing is Santa knows when you're naughty or nice.
He does.
Yeah.
He's also making a list and checking it twice.
That's right.
You know what? For Santa Claus, I asked years ago. I asked him for the naughty list.
Oh,
I wanted to find out.
You'd be
why do you think I would, Bill?
Because knowing you'd be looking for those naughty girls.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, I know you.
I wanted to get a list of the naughty people. I said naughty list, Bill. I didn't say naughty girl list.
There are girls and boys on that list.
Right, but I wanted to send them letters encouraging them to be good.
Oh, okay.
See, you're just always off in left field.
I've known you too long, and I know what I know, and we'll just leave it at that. Now we have a caller here. What did you call in about, caller?
I just called in to let you know that Santa Claus is real.
Yeah.
And your co-host must be a saint because he wants to help people out. I like people to help people out. Maybe Santa
he knows. This caller knows I'm a saint.
He doesn't know that I set up the Salvation Army deal.
On my idea.
Our idea. We talked about it together.
One of us had to have an idea, first of all. I mean,
you're a saint, so I'm hoping that in 2 weeks Santa Claus brings you a gift.
Well, I'm not looking for that. I would rather see Santa Claus give it to somebody more needy than me.
No, Bill and I work as a good.
There's a lot of needy people out there.
There are. True. Absolutely. Yeah.
We got to think about them, and remember, everybody's sitting at home tonight. You just finish up your dinner. If you got extras, put it away for lunch. Don't throw it away because that could have fed some homeless person out on the street.
That's right.
This time of year, we really got to think about our homeless people. And
that's for sure. I agree with you. Yeah.
No, Bill and I work as a good team.
Have a good evening.
All right. Well, thank you, caller. Thanks for calling in. And
no problem. Have a good evening.
You do the same. Thanks for calling. All right, we're going to have to take a short break. Well, let's do it right now. This is the Open Mic Show, and we are here until 8 o'clock. This is the show where you will also hear tonight during the 7 o'clock hour people that are associated with the Highlands Neighborhood Association. And they do an incredible job, and we're going to bring them in, talk about all the good things they do for people in their neighborhood and the city, right here and only on the Open Mic Show. 97.9 FM.
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
97.9 FM, WHAV.
Catch the wave.
Hi, Tom Bergeron here. I started at WHAV in 1972. And look, WHAV's still here, but it won't be if you don't help support it. Go to WHAV.net. Become a contributor. Keep us going.
Say Smith. Mercedes-Benz has for over 50 years. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill offers new and certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz SUVs, crossovers, sedans, and coupes. And with its state-of-the-art sales and service facility, Smith is able to offer a different kind of customer experience unlike any other. Countless reasons, one choice. Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill at 420 River Street, routes 110 and 113. There's more on the web at onlymercedes.com.
Ho, ho, ho! It's me, Santa. I'm so happy you kids have been taking part in WHAV's Calls to Santa program. Here's another one of your messages.
I would like a golden hoverboard, a Nintendo Switch with Let's Go Pikachu game. I would like Pokemon cards. I would like Ninja Turtle toys, too. Merry Christmas.
Just give me a call at 978-361-3930. Ho, ho! Merry Christmas, kids.
Support for WHAV comes from Orzo Trattoria. Orzo was voted Greater Andover's Best of the Best Restaurants by Market Surveys of America. Along with Italian family-style dining, Orzo offers a gluten-free menu, space for private parties, and off-site catering. Everything's on the takeout menu, too. Orzo gift certificates make great stocking stuffers. Tucked away on Route 125 in Butcher Boy Plaza, North Andover, Orzo wishes everyone a happy and safe holiday season. More at orzorestaurant.com.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to take it up till 7 o'clock. And right after that, we're going to have top of the hour news and information. And then we're going to have the Highland Neighborhood Association people come in, and we're going to talk about being a good neighbor in Haverhill, and especially in the Highlands, and all the good things they do. And we'll leave it at that for now, but we have some other stuff we want to remind people of. On the 17th, that's 2 weeks from today, we're going to be in front of the Market Basket at Westgate from 3 to 5. We're going to be ringing the bell for the Salvation Army, and we're going to try to come up, we're going to talk to the boss and see if he can come up with, give a little bit, and we're going to come up with some kind of gift for people that pay over, and I don't know if it's going to be $5 or $10.
I told you, the KISS.
Oh, geez.
You don't believe in that, huh?
No, I don't, no.
Well, Bill, I think you'd attract a lot of women.
No, one in particular, my wife.
You know what? Do you think she would mind that if you said, "Honey, I'm doing this for charity"?
Well, she
know what she'd say?
She still
I've
loves
been with
me.
you 37 years for charity.
We still love each other. Yeah, so that would work out okay. But yeah. Anyway,
hey, you see who passed?
So we're going to do that. No, that's all right. We got all the announcements made because we're Albide's second generation Italian bakery, 140
South Main Street in Bradford.
Yeah, in Bradford.
Yeah.
And that is where people get a free birthday or anniversary cake if they call in and leave the name of somebody from the next month. Right. So we're looking for January birthdays or anniversaries. Call in now. Speak to our producer, Chris, 978-374-1900. And if that name is drawn out of the hat, that will be actually the 17th, too, because there's no show on the 24th. So
what about the 31st? Are we going to do a show on the 31st?
I don't know. We haven't decided that. But on the last show of the month, we will draw the winner of the cake, be it a birthday or anniversary, right here on WHAV. Okay, Bill, what do you want to talk about?
Ken Berry passed away.
Ken Berry.
You remember him?
Yeah.
And who was he?
He was a sitcom actor.
He played Captain Wilton Parmenter.
Yeah.
And it was actually looking up Larry Stork over the weekend and saw Ken Berry, that he was 85 and he was still alive then, but he passed away Saturday night, I guess. And
that's your dark cloud. You just think about somebody and they die.
It's sad, Billy. And I've been thinking about you all day long.
Oh, yeah.
So
thank you.
Yeah, and Yeah, because some of the other people that passed away, the girl that played Wrangler Jane, she died very young at age 66.
Yeah.
And what's Forrest Tucker, who played the sergeant,
Tucker,
he
yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
And, Billy, it's sad, though. You take a look at
you know what it is?
a lot
It's
of
sad that we're getting old. And we remember these people like they were still 20, 30 years old when they were in the sitcom.
Well, Larry Stork's 96.
96.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good number.
Yeah.
That's a full life, we'll say.
I would think so.
And hopefully more to go.
Yeah, he seems pretty sharp. I saw some YouTube videos on him.
Yeah.
But a lot of our old sitcom heroes have disappeared.
Yeah, I know.
When you take a look at the I Dream of Jeannie.
You have to leave room for new people, too. There's some good new people.
Well, I'm a big Seinfeld fan. I thought that was a great show.
That was a great show.
Yeah, but it's, who's still gorgeous is Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, the Larry Hagman and Bill Daly have gone. Bill Daly actually just died this past September.
Yeah.
And Barbara's still going strong.
Good for her.
Now, she was married to a character on that show in real life. Who was the character?
The guy, J.R.
No, she wasn't married to Larry Hagman.
No. Who was it?
Michael and Sarah.
See, I don't know who that is.
You remember the Blue Gin?
No.
He was the head gin. He was the head genie. She was married to him in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And who did she used to be on? She had some small roles on the Lucy Show. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. And who was she afraid of?
Ricky?
Yeah, she said he used to chase her around.
Oh,
in real life,
in
he was
real
quite a womanizer.
Yeah.
She said that between takes, she used to hide.
Hey, Lucy.
Yeah.
You got some splaining to do.
Club Babaloo. So, and it's funny, Lucy, if you're a Three Stooges fan,
which I was,
Lucy was on the Three Stooges.
Is that right?
One episode. There was the episode about them playing football, but they're taking the census.
Yeah.
Do you remember when?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, when Mo goes up to the quarterback and says, "How old are you?" And the guy goes, 34, 22, and Mo goes, "Make up your mind." And she was part of that. She was on towards the beginning of that 20-minute little spot that they used to have.
Well, they have to act. They got to keep working. They got to make money. Back then,
I tell you, she was an attractive.
$20 a show.
Oh, I know. She was an attractive lady. Older, but she was as cute as a button.
Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah.
And they didn't get royalties from that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they hadn't started that yet. So
no.
So the studio made all the money.
And that show went on. It's still on.
It is. Yeah. Certain times.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Now, did Shemp and Curly, were they ever on the show together? Are they doing the episodes together?
I don't recall that, but were they?
One time.
One time.
Curly had a stroke.
Yeah.
And then Shemp came in, because Shemp was the brother. There was actually Mo, Shemp, and Curly were brothers in real life, and Larry was from Philadelphia. And when Curly had the stroke, Shemp came back and replaced him. And then when Curly was up to it, there was an episode where Curly's sleeping on a train. They lift up his hat, they take off a clothespin off of his nose, and he's basically snoring away. And then he just puts it back on again.
Yeah.
And that was the only episode with the two of them together.
Wow.
And where did the name Curly come from?
Just maybe the opposite of what he looked like?
No, well, it's funny because and I use that term again, he had shaved his head. And Ted Healy, there originally was Ted Healy and his Stooges. That was the original act. And Ted Healy said, "You look girly." And that was construed for Curly.
Curly.
Because his real nickname was Babe, because he was the youngest. Curly was Babe.
Yeah.
He was the youngest of the Horowitz brothers.
How about the Our Gang comedy? Remember those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were funny too.
They were good.
Yeah.
In fact, Alfalfa,
Spanky,
he died very young. I think he died in a card game or something that he was accused of cheating or something to that effect. And yeah, he had an untimely death.
Yeah.
And what was the little girl's name?
Darla.
Darla is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had buckwheat and alfalfa.
Alfalfa, yeah.
And I tell you, Eddie Murphy did a great alfalfa.
He did.
Oh yeah, he was tremendous.
Good stuff.
No, but it was they were great back then. But you know what's sad, Billy? Here's the thing, and this has come out over the past few days. Everybody's finding something wrong with certain shows.
Or songs.
Right. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
They're blasting it, the liberals, it's a bad show, you shouldn't watch it, they bullying Rudolph. But Rudolph, at the end, he becomes the hero.
Right.
He's accepted in there because though he was different, he did have a certain role in his life, and that was to lead Santa Claus.
So it worked out okay. A little bullying, and look where he ends up, kind of running the show. He's the lead reindeer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that I heard over the weekend is that the song that was written in 1944, "Baby, It's Cold Outside," is now being seen as something that is the women. The woman does. She should be able to make up her mind and not be pushed or questioned.
But I find it.
I guess she wants to go home, and the guy's going, "But baby, it's cold outside."
I know. Well, that's a natural reaction if a guy wants to get to know a girl a little bit better.
Well, either that, or maybe she didn't have a coat, and he really was worried that she was going to be cold.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't write.
But you know what's funny though? They'll talk about that, but you have songs here that the mean women. They call them every name in the book. They talk about killing cops, but that's okay. The liberals don't mind that. Well, you had Barack Obama invited these people into the White House, but then they talk about Donald Trump saying he grabbed somebody.
I don't know. Is it just liberals, or is it just maybe the way a number of people think? I don't know if it crosses real political lines. I think this whole Me Too movement is not political. I don't think. I think it really is a statement on society where we're at right now. It's today's norms versus older norms, and I'd like to think that our norms of today maybe are a little bit better thought out and a little bit
I would hope so.
Bit better to live by.
But it's the oddity about that whole Me Too thing is all the people that came out in the beginning and backed it 110%. All of a sudden, they have stuff like Charlie Rose. Charlie, the head of CBS.
Yeah, well,
all these people now they found out the biggest culprits.
First anniversary of Matt Lauer in his locking door.
Did you have a locking door?
No.
Because I tried to get out of this door in the studio and it won't open up.
Well, that's because
you told me I needed to know what the password was.
Probably too weak. No, I don't think so. Actually, that has the little unlock thing right on the.
Yeah, I had that changed from last week. I said to the owner, I said,
"Fake news, fake news." All right, well, you know what? We're coming up on the top of the hour here, so we're gonna have to take another break. And I understand you have someplace you need to go, so you're going to be hitting the highway. And
I will see everybody next weekend, and you'll be on.
I'm on assignment.
Assignment next weekend.
I am. Yeah. So I'll be back in 2 weeks, the 17th.
17th.
So I'll meet you at Westgate a little before 3. I will email you the instructions that I received from the Salvation Army.
In Haverhill, I will talk to you on the 10th, a week from tonight.
All right here on the Open Mic Show. And only on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
It's 7:01.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Here's what's happening in local news. City Council President John Mitchison will address concerns surrounding future marijuana sales in the downtown area at the council's next meeting on Tuesday. Mitchison is expected to make a request for traffic and parking studies to be done on Washington Street. This is in reaction to mounting concerns over traffic and safety issues that Haverhill residents believe will occur if a marijuana establishment were to open on Washington Street. The street is one of 8 areas in the city featured in an overlay zone that would identify where in the city an establishment could open. As WHAV has previously reported, the Haverhill Administration and Finance Committee approved the exclusion of Merrimack Street from being part of that zone on Thursday. However, plenty of residents attended the meeting to voice their disapproval of any marijuana sales downtown, including Washington Street, believing it would cause excessive traffic and present safety issues for local children. Haverhill's Planning Board and the Council will vote on approving the overlay zone sometime this January, while a moratorium forbidding the opening of marijuana establishments in Haverhill is scheduled to expire March 1st, 2019. The Council will also discuss a number of other items during the meeting. Councilor Timothy Jordan invited YMCA Regional Executive Director Tracy Fuller to discuss Y's Cornerstone Project. The project serves as a collaborative program that provides essential daily living support to cancer patients, survivors, and their immediate family. Amongst the services provided by the project include a complimentary YMCA membership to cancer survivors and their families, a complimentary week of summer camp for children of families enrolled in the program, and a schedule of drop-in babysitting for parents currently in treatment. Council Vice President Thomas Sullivan will introduce Christine Rao of the Haverhill Brightside program, which is dedicated to the beautification of city properties, including the Global Peace Memorial, Riverside Park, and Dustin Park. Mayor James Fiorentini is expected to submit several ordinances and memorandums related to salary discussions between city officials, the Haverhill Citizens Center, the Water and Wastewater Departments of the Department of Public Works, and Teamsters Union Local 170. The Haverhill Public Schools Special Education Department invites the community to remember late teacher Angela Ianalfo in a benefit in her memory Wednesday the 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Smith's Tavern, 124 Essex Street, Haverhill. A toy and book donation drive will take place at the Elf for a Night event to help brighten the holidays for Haverhill families in need. New unwrapped gifts will be accepted at the door. A $10 donation is suggested. All money raised will go to buy additional gifts. Gifts can also be dropped off at the Special Education Department office, 4 Summer Street, room 104. Hunking special education facilitator Ian Alfo passed away suddenly in November 2017 after a medical emergency, leaving behind her husband and 3 children. Methuen police last week arrested 3 Lawrence residents, including 2 teenagers, following a violent Tuesday home invasion on Methuen's Tenney Street. 29-year-old Jonathan Thompson appeared in Lawrence District Court Thursday to answer to charges of home invasion, daytime breaking and entering, larceny, and malicious damage over $1,200, said Methuen Police Chief Joseph Solomon. A 15-year-old male and a 17-year-old male were also arrested for their alleged roles in the home invasion and faced a judge in Lawrence Juvenile Court. The Lawrence Police Department and State Police Unit assigned to Essex County District Attorney Jonathan Blodgett's office assisted with the investigation, which resulted in arrests less than 36 hours after the incident, Solomon said. Remember, WHAV is the only Haverhill-based news source. There's always more at WHAV.net. From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Rebecca Foster. Global stock markets have surged in response to the news of a ceasefire in the trade war between the U.S. and China. Sir David Attenborough has told the UN that climate change poses the greatest threat to humanity in thousands of years. And UK Prime Minister Theresa May says she discussed post-Brexit trade deals with several leaders at the G20 summit in Argentina.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. A few days with a lot of sunshine around, but still on the chilly side of things. Dropping to 30 degrees, partly cloudy, and about a 5 to 15 mile per hour northwest breeze tonight. Will be around 10 to 20 miles per hour, making wind chills feel like they're in the low 20s. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 34. A very cold Tuesday night, clear skies, a low around 15. And then warming to the freezing mark, full sunshine all Wednesday long. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
Those Boston stations don't always understand weather in the Merrimack Valley. Stay informed with wave weather every 30 minutes, 24 hours a day on Soft Gold WHAV. 97.9 FM WHAV.
Merrimack Valley Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are here in the 7 o'clock hour. I'm Bill Macek, and with me in the studio live, we are going to be speaking with members from the Historic Highlands Neighborhood Association. Is that correct? Do I have that right?
That's correct.
That's correct, right? Yeah, okay. I worked on that all weekend. It's a long one, so I tried to, had the 4 words, I had to memorize them in order.
Usually they forget the historic.
Yeah. So I'm going to, so I don't mess anything up, I'm going to let all of them introduce themselves right now as they grab their microphone. Michael, turn your mic, pull it right in towards your mouth. And okay. And why don't we start with Linda?
I'm Linda Brown.
Linda Brown.
And Michael Valvo.
Michael Valvo.
I'm Jason Youssef.
Jason.
And Marianne Seitz.
And Marianne. Okay, great. So we're all here. And if somebody does have a question or comment, 978-374-1900, as the show goes along, you can call in, and I'm sure not me, but the neighborhood group will answer or elaborate on anything we decide that we're talking about for the next almost an hour. We've got about 52 minutes left. So we're going to have a great conversation tonight, and I want to thank you all for coming in. And in particular, I wanted you to come in because I wanted to make note of the award that you just received a couple of weeks ago at the Policeman's Ball. Your group was honored with the Citizens of the Year award, correct?
That's correct.
Can you want to elaborate? Anybody want to elaborate why that happened, or what you were kind of noted for
sure,
what you did?
I guess I can start. You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you pull the mic just a little closer to you, Linda?
Is that a little better?
Yeah, we want to make sure everybody hears you loud and clear.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. But anyway, we had worked along with the CAT team, we call them as the Community Action Team, and there were 3 particular officers that always came to our meeting. Officer Eric McKinnon, Adam Durkee, and John Rosario. And they from the very start have always been extremely supportive of us, whether it's helping us out with questions that we have about safety, or and how we could just improve neighborhood safety, and how in our neighborhood, and how accessible they always were to us. So Justine and I had gone down and given them, a couple of weeks before we received the award, and we gave them certificates from the neighborhood group saying how much we appreciated them and how much they were supported from us, because they were being dismantled. And even though they were being dismantled, the Community Action Team, we still wanted them to know how much they meant to us and how much we wanted to continue on having a wonderful relationship with the HPD members. And so I received, soon after that, an email from Captain Cannon saying that we had been nominated for the Citizens Award.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Totally surprised, and we were all thrilled. I know we were. And it just meant so much to us that they recognized us, because they feel that just as much as we appreciate them, they appreciate us of having citizens who are so involved in caring about the neighborhood and caring about having positive relationships with the police.
I was there kind of when you guys were starting to get formed because I was on the city council at the time, and still am. But and now I'm doing Monday night shows, and you do all your meetings on Monday night, so I can't come anymore. But never mind.
You're there
that.
in spirit.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You're still always supportive.
And I always will support what you guys do, because you do so many neat things and good things for your neighborhood, and you really are, in my opinion, not because you're sitting here, but you really are a model for other neighborhood groups to try and follow, because you guys really have done a great job and continue to do things. And I think you were justifiably awarded your Citizens of the Year award.
Thank you.
Because people take note. And I remember even early on, you guys were really concerned about the quality of the people in your neighborhood. The people that might be, why is a car parked out on our street? And you had concern about that kind of stuff, and maybe you still do once in a while, but hopefully some of those strangers in town kind of looking people are no longer hitting your area, because you've also gotten response from the police to try and react when you let them know there's something that you're a little concerned about. So I think that's all great stuff, and I want Haverhill to be safe everywhere.
Absolutely.
And you've again set that standard of how you can work with the police, and they will work with you. They're also a very good group.
They're great.
Michael?
It's not that hard. One of the things that I notice in coming to the meetings is how enthusiastic the police department was with us. I mean, it was really an amazing situation to have them not just feel like they were doing their job, but they were understanding that this is how a neighborhood and how a city stays safe, stays cohesive. And it was one of the things that really struck me about the Haverhill Police.
Yeah.
And it seems as though we made a difference.
We got a good force.
Yeah,
we
do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do.
And one of the other things I remember that you were concerned about that I tried to assure you is that you were concerned about your homes, your larger, because those are all the shoe baron mansions up in the Highlands. It's a beautiful area. The homes are fantastic, and it's almost safe to say we're not building many, if any, of those in our lifetime. That quality of a house with the detail in the construction. So you want them to stay nice. You don't want to see them get cut up into 6 condominiums, that kind of stuff. And I think you're right about that. Because when these are gone, there's no more probably anywhere in the city.
You're 100% right. I think it's a tricky thing to understand about design and zoning. I think we need to be a lot more careful in how zoning is designed and preserved. I understand that we did have a zoning specialist on board for a while, and some of the zoning meetings have been canceled, and I'm not
We
sure
were doing
why
a
that
full zoning review. I was appointed to that board probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and it
we
seems to
were
have
almost
lost.
at the finish line, and I don't know why, but we haven't met in over a year.
I think it's critical that especially in our period of growth where we are in the city and where things are hopefully will be going, it's important to stay on track and to understand where we're going, where we've been, and what we need to aspire to. It's
right.
And we have collateral. We have historic collateral in a lot of the homes in the Highlands and throughout the city. And it's important for a lot of people to understand that adds value.
It does.
Yeah.
And it adds comfort that you, when you buy something, you know that the zoning is going to protect you, and you're not going to find either next door to you or something going on close by that really hurts the value of your property.
We have a neighbor who came in a couple of years ago and bought a very important house in the neighborhood, and was almost immediately pushed out because the zoning wasn't backing him up. And it's a sad state of affairs because he's not able to get the money that he's looking for.
Yeah, that is, yeah. But, I hope that we can, get that train on track. Now we're talking about a master plan review committee, which I also am in favor of.
Yes.
And because it's an old master plan we have. But a master plan, in my opinion, light definitions, master plan is a vision, but it's not like zoning. Zoning is the law. And to me, that's the difference. You can have all the plans and all the great thoughts, but you need to also have the mechanism that makes them rigid, that keeps them in place and in play. And that's why I think they both need to be done. So I'm hoping that we can, sometime, hopefully in 2019, at least get the zoning issue, into play as it's just tweaks. It's a lot of our same zoning. It's not like we're redoing the whole thing. But I think we went through and there were some very good recommendations. We had an excellent consultant. Our consultant for the city was attorney by the name of Mark Bobrowski, who is the best in the state. He has actually zoned or rezoned more than 50% of the communities in our state.
He wrote that large book, didn't
he
he?
wrote a book.
Right.
He taught it in college. I mean, he's an expert, and a lot of the input for where we should tweak it and change it a little bit came from Mark. And so, I hope we can move forward, and I got a feeling we will. So,
there's something that I've said to myself for a long time, and I see it over and over again. I see it on TV. I see it in Apple computers. I see it when I go to the mall. And these big companies put lots and lots of money and time into design so that we buy things. And just look at Apple Computer. Design makes money. Good design makes more money. And great design changes perception.
Yes.
Haverhill's a city of, 60,000 people. And that perception needs to continue to grow and to continue to be bigger and bigger all the time so that we attract the kind of business that we like to attract, so that we attract the kind of community that we want to attract. And it's beginning to turn, and I don't want to lose track.
I agree. And I think, what Haverhill's biggest advantage is, can also sometimes make it a little harder to go forward, and that's our size. We are 6 times the size of Lawrence, for round numbers. Mm-hmm. So we're 36 square miles. We've got 7 golf courses. We've got lakes. We've got beautiful areas. You don't even think you're in Massachusetts, let alone, Haverhill. But we have all these amenities that we need to promote properly and protect them properly. And just keep doing what we're doing, like you're doing with the Highlands. So on that, we're going to pause for our short break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk some more with the Historic Highlands Neighborhood Association right here on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
For more in-depth coverage of the news, visit WHAV's website at whav.net.
Catch the wave!
Melinda's Garden Moments help gardeners create and maintain a healthy, beautiful garden with ease, inside or out and all year long. This is Melinda Myers, inviting you to tune in every weekday morning, right here on WHAV. You'll learn creative ways to grow your own vegetables and herbs while beautifying your landscape. Eco-friendly lawn care, flower garden design basics, unique container gardens, attracting birds and butterflies to the landscape, and much more. Again, please join me weekday mornings for Melinda's Garden Moment for a very environmentally friendly approach to gardening. Remember, only local radio can bring you this feature opportunity, but only WHAV does.
Community Spotlight!
Santa is fueling up for his big trip around the world with a good hearty pancake breakfast alongside Haverhill residents at the Lions Club fundraiser Saturday morning, December 8th, 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. A $5 donation covers breakfast and a photo with Santa. Tickets are available by calling 978-372-4675. Tickets will also be sold at the door of Maria's, 81 Essex Street. All proceeds benefit Haverhill Lions Club charities. Submit your own nonprofit events and announcements at least 3 weeks in advance. For best results, use the online form under the Contact tab at WHAV.net. In the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, I'm Eric Scott.
Open Mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
Okay, we are back on the Open Mic Show. We have 4 members from the Highlands Neighborhood Association, Historic Highlands. See, I didn't do all 4 words. It's officially the Historic Highlands, and I worked so hard to put those. Start with historic, Bill. Historic Highlands Neighborhood Association. And if anybody doesn't know where that is, it's in the Plug Pond. Is it safe to say that? Plug Pond area? Nice area, beautiful area, and beautiful homes. And they are doing what they can to make sure that they keep it that way and maybe even make it a little better like it used to be, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Now we have another story that I'm not going to get into it all, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So thanks, Bill. But this is kind of swinging back to our relationship with the police and really how, what we wanted to get out of forming this group. So what we really try to encourage in this group is for people to call if they see something suspicious. I was that type of person that, I would see something suspicious, I would just kind of watch it and watch it and watch it, and then all of a sudden something would happen and it would go away, right? It wasn't really until I was really part of this group that we formed a phone tree. So we text each other when we see things, and we really sort of encourage each other to call when we see something suspicious. And with having the Haverhill police at our meetings, they told us, you see something, call. So that's really kind of given me the strength of making those phone calls. And so we try to project that to potential members. So one night, Kim and I were coming home from dinner, and not far from my house, there was a white truck sitting there with the Hampshire plates on it. 2 guys sitting in there, another guy walking around it near it. So we were like, that's kind of weird. So of course, the first thing that pops into my head, because I'm part of this group, is it's something suspicious. Give it a call.
Yeah.
Haverhill PD goes up there, assesses the situation, lets these guys do what they need to do, lets them go, pulls them over, and it was a bust, and it was a sizable bust. They arrested the guys, they towed the car. Not only that, they apprehended the guy that was walking in the street, which I thought was amazing, because that guy could find any little place to run to.
Sure.
But they did it exactly the right way. They had a couple of cruisers there, and they nailed it. I can't tell you how exciting that was to see that, because of how much we care for our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And I just encourage people to do the same, because you'll feel that same excitement, and it's just going to make our neighborhood much safer and a much better place to be. And the same thing with zoning. When we were talking about zoning, we encourage people, if there's egregious zoning going on, somebody putting an apartment in where they shouldn't, somebody doing major construction without a permit, call.
Right.
Call on that. If you think you're being too petty about it, it's too light of a deal, but just call. I have all the confidence in the world of Richard McDonald Inspectional Services to decide whether that is not such a thing that we need to go after or not so serious.
Yeah. Another top-notch guy.
Right?
Haverhill's very fortunate to have the people working for Haverhill. But I've always said, too, is that Haverhill is very fortunate because of the people that Haverhill has for its residents. And what you're saying, goes along with that old line, if you see something, say something.
That's right.
And it could happen elsewhere. And I think, you have become comfortable with calling, maybe even asking for certain officers, but I think you also have the ability, I know you also have the ability to leave an anonymous tip. So if something's going on, you just call the regular police number and you can leave an anonymous tip. So if you just let it go by like, it doesn't concern me, well, it does concern you because it's in your neighborhood and it's something that needs to be worked on.
Yeah, and we do things like that. It's a safer neighborhood.
Yeah. And
property values go up, and even if you don't own a neighborhood,
right.
if you're renting in a nicer area.
Yeah.
You're renting in an area where guys like that don't want to hang around.
In a safer area. If you can knock it down. I've said for many years, I say it publicly, I don't think we can ever stop drug dealing on the street, but we can certainly let the dealers know and the gangs know that basically the message would be don't go to Haverhill because you're going to get caught.
Exactly.
And I think that's what we need to do is just make make it so impossible, or such a high percentage of impossibility that we just stop it. That's what we have to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the drug scene is another whole thing we could talk about.
Because they're not going to want to come to an area where they know people are going to call.
You got eyes. You got eyes everywhere.
Where people are looking out.
Yeah.
And if people have questions about that, I encourage them to come to our meetings. Just come to our meetings.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, because you guys have already reached out to some of the other neighborhood associations, and you're also trying to help make Haverhill a better place.
Absolutely.
Who wants to take that? Mary Ann, do you want to? No? All right. Well,
I do have a big idea that
you got something that
pulls
talk about what you
Okay.
think we'd like to discuss tonight.
So a new big idea that we're going to run with is a Haverhill cookbook. So it's not just our neighborhood. It's really going to embrace the diversity of our city and bring everybody together, I hope. Be a collection about whoever's submitting the recipe and then their favorite recipe. So, I'd love to see many, many different people submit their recipes, and I'll, take the time to put it all together, hopefully visit some of the restaurants, some of the local artists, because we do, we just have so many neat things, and, we like to see our whole city represented in a positive way. So, that's the newest thing, the new endeavor that I'm taking on.
Linda mentioned that to me when we were setting up this arrangement for this evening, and I thought what a great idea. That is a great idea. And the diversity, I think, of what you'd like to accomplish also says something about Haverhill.
Yes.
We are all one. We don't need to have boundaries in any way about how long you lived here, where you've come from. You're now Haverhill, and we're happy to have you here. That's the way
we all pay the same taxes.
Right.
So you're there. One thing that somebody mentioned to me a few years ago, and it's a noted guy in town. He said to me that there were once 22 neighborhood associations in the city of Haverhill.
I don't remember if it was that high, but it was at least a dozen. I do remember that.
Yeah, and they were all active, he told me. And there seems to be something to that.
I wish we could get more neighborhood associations to do what you're doing to some degree. And the only thing I can say is that, I think we're living in a much busier time of our life, or just life, the 21st century, and that for whatever reason, that type of organization, the neighborhood camaraderie, I think is harder to find due to the lifestyles and the time that people have, and
it's true,
and what they have to commit. Let's face it. You guys are this is like a part-time job for you in a sense, because you care about this and because you want to make it work. And if you're going to try to make anything work, you're going to have to put some effort into it. So
it's why.
But the reward, I think I think you guys are getting the reward, and I think that's key to anything you do.
I think social media has a huge impact on what is happening in society today, because it used to be that everyone knew their neighbor, right? That you went to school, you knew the teachers knew your parents. Nowadays, with the flick of a touch of a computer screen or a phone screen, we can be anywhere we want to be. So it takes away that social aspect of it. So I think that's really important that we have formed that type of thing, and we're not giving that up about the importance of meeting.
We could turn that into a positive, though, too. Our Facebook page is super successful, right?
Yes.
Even though I'm not.
You got to have the social media
well,
component.
You have to have that, right?
You got to have the component, but also you need to get together and actually talk. You guys don't go to a meeting and then just text each other throughout the meeting, right?
Right. We're talking about adding that feature in when we're voting, because we need. It's tough to get a large group of people involved. I mean, we have a core group, and there are people who have contacted us saying, "Oh, we need this," and sometimes they expect the core group to take care of it when it's really an entire group
Sure it is.
situation. And to get people consistently involved is nowadays it gets trickier and trickier.
It does. But there's an old saying that I remember, and if you want something done, ask either a busy person or a small group, because when a group gets too large, it actually, I think, has more a combative nature because people all have their own opinions. So I think your success is also probably part of your size, that you haven't become that you need to get an auditorium for your meetings.
Yeah, too bureaucratic.
Yeah.
Right, I think that we've been very fortunate in finding people that we are all kind of thinking along the same lines.
Definitely
we all want
so.
the same thing for our neighborhood group, and yet we all have very different ideas that we bring to the table. So I think that we've been very fortunate that way.
Okay, well, before we get into our next topic, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back speaking to the historic Highlands Neighborhood Association right here on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
It's 7:33.
Why pay $250 to $350 a year for half as much news? On air and online. 97.9 WHAV provides more Greater Haverhill news more often than any other sources combined. Support the only Haverhill-based news source with your tax-deductible local news membership by clicking on the membership tab at WHAV.net.
Paul Ryan, HHS class of 1971, and Tommy Morgan, HHS class of 2013, are good sports. They're on 97.9 WHAV FM every Wednesday night from 6 to 8. Ryan and Morgan talk about local high school sports, the Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, and more. You can join in with your calls. Good Sports is sponsored in part by attorney Gerard LaFlamme, Ideal Frame, Brian S. Dempsey Insurance Agency, Levitt's Auto and Truck, and The Chicken Connection. Good Sports every Wednesday night at 6 on the Wave 97.9 WHAV FM.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. A few days with a lot of sunshine around, but still on the chilly side of things. Dropping to 30 degrees, partly cloudy, and about a 5 to 15 mile per hour northwest breeze tonight. Will be around 10 to 20 miles per hour, making wind chills feel like they're in the low 20s. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 34. A very cold Tuesday night, clear skies, a low around 15. And then warming to the freezing mark, full sunshine all Wednesday long. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather in 30 minutes.
WHAV Open Mic.
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents the Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we're back on the Open Mic Show. Bill Macek here, and we're talking with 4 members from the Highlands group, Highlands Association, the historic Highlands Neighborhood Association. I know what your real name is, but here we are. We're having a good time in this conversation. We're kind of all over the place, but that's the way we do it on the Open Mic Show. We're just having a conversation, and Michael, you just said something about, almost like that you have from the beginning made soft demands, but you've kind of asked for improvements.
The group has made soft demands. I mean, and I think it becomes kind of part of the consciousness of the city council and whoever that, I think maybe we should give something to these neighbors to keep them a little quiet.
Well, I think we've taken notice.
And you have taken notice, and it's been noted that you've taken notice. And about a month or so ago, I was coming down Mill Street, and I saw the blinking sign that tells you the speed that you're going. Yeah. And I hadn't noticed it, and I texted the group. I said, "Do you guys notice that we've got the speed sign?" And nobody else had noticed because I might have just gone up. And I would say, great, and it's made a difference. It hasn't helped the motorcycle noise, but it's definitely helped the speeding. I've noticed people slowing down. I think we just need one on the other side.
It does.
And it does.
Yeah.
They
work.
It does. It works. Yeah.
And we're going to get some more. The mayor actually put some money into that supplemental list of things. We're going to get more of those digital readout speed signs. So
can we get noise signs?
No.
Decibels.
Can we get decibel level signs?
You want me to just give my honest feelings about this as a former motorcycle rider?
No.
All right. Okay. Well, no,
yes.
really. Well, in my opinion, from what I understand of the law and the regulation, that there probably is not a legal, and I'll use the word Harley Davidson, among other motorcycles out there that are legal with loud pipes. They are all required by law. I think 1977 was when the law changed, and they have to have muffled pipes.
That's correct.
However, the aftermarket, as it's called, sells unbaffled pipes, and that's why they're still loud to this day, decades later. But anyone that was stopped, I truly believe, could be written up for the aftermarket pipes and ticketed, and at least it would maybe make a change to some degree.
Make a small change. It's a simple.
But it's downtown too. With the high buildings, and in the summer, the clubs and the bars. It's the people that live down there complain every year about the motorcycles.
Bill, if I had a loudspeaker on my car, and I drove down the street playing opera, or something, that somebody doesn't want to listen to, I'd be stopped.
You can't.
I'd be ticketed.
We actually have a decibel law in Haverhill, not just Massachusetts, that you can't do that. You can't do that kind of playing without a permit.
But it happens all the time.
I know it does.
It happens all the time.
Once again, it's that our police are very busy. They do work at certain times of each shift at a priority list, and they have to. The dispatchers have to decide which is the most important call, which I hate to hear, that you can't just call and always be sure that you have a cruiser waiting to come to your aid. But we're a busy city.
Someday I'll have a suggestion on that.
All right.
We'll be out of this neighborhood group.
All right, but anyway, I know what you're saying about the loud motorcycles.
It's
yeah,
loud.
yeah,
And it happens at the top of the street.
Yeah, right near your house.
Right.
They probably have to accelerate a little bit to go up the hill. You
They
think?
do.
Yeah,
they do.
And it goes to the rear. The noise goes to the rear.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as they go by, you hear them. But anyway, where else should we go on this neighbor? Now you do block parties. You've just put up your holiday tree, right?
Yeah.
You do so many neat little things for your neighborhood, which I think also is important. Every neighborhood should be fortunate enough to have people that do the seasonal type things that you do, and also to bring the gathering together, get the neighbors to kind of break the ice and meet one another.
The social aspects of our neighborhood group are really well attended. Like Marion, I know you wanted to speak to a couple of those things, right?
Well, yeah, and also to circle back to the police, that when we have a block party, they've been great at coming, and they bring the quads for the kids, and let them sit on them, and they'll bring the police car, and again, they've been very supportive, and it's really created a nice friendship and bond between us. And with the children, seeing that, there's a lot in the media, social media, TV, that, the police are not the good guys sometimes. And my kids, at least, are being raised that, they're part of our neighborhood. They're there to protect us. And it's been great. The holiday tree, that's down in a different park that we adopted, and it's on a main street so people can see it. We always offer, if anybody wants to add to it, they can make ornaments, they can make anything they want and add to it. We try very hard to be inclusive of everyone, because it's our neighborhood, not as in these people in the room, but everybody that lives within those streets.
And if I just might add,
Go ahead.
another wonderful thing that we just had is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial.
I was just going to say that. You also have a new, not really adopted, but a new neighbor of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. It's in the, what is it, the Mill?
It's Mill Pond.
Mill Pond.
Mill Pond Park.
I've lived here my whole life. I never heard that until this time with the the new monument going in. It looks fantastic the way it is, and it's going to get better.
It's going to get
and
better.
The opposite, the little park opposite that we adopted, where the
Right.
tree is
Yeah.
called White's Park. Who knew that?
No, not me.
It's
It's funny. I never get lost in Haverhill, but I don't know the names of everything.
All those little parks.
Yeah,
So that was a wonderful addition to our neighborhood. But also, I think one of the things that we are really appreciative of, so we can actually get something tangible, is we are getting a historic Highlands sign and welcome to the Highlands.
Excellent. Nice.
So that should be coming within this 2019. We're thinking we should have it maybe about the fall of
Great.
2019.
Nice.
So that's going to be a huge addition.
It's like $4.95. Did you ever look at a map online? It says something like 7-Star Highway or something. It's like I never knew that had a name. That 495 had a name.
They have names.
Yeah,
It's all about awareness.
Yeah, I guess so. Yep. And you live in the Plug Pond area.
Plug Pond
but
area.
it's really Lake
Saltonstall.
I knew you would know that, Michael. I knew you would know
that. If you talk to somebody, an old Haverhill person, it's Plug Pond.
Right.
Anybody else, they usually say, "Oh, Lake Saltonstall," but Plug Pond, and a lot of people don't know the reason why that's called Plug Pond. And why Mill Street is called Mill Street.
Tell me.
The reason is that there were mills on Mill Street that ran down to the Merrimack, and the Plug Pond was the feed for those mills, tanning mills, grist mills, whatever
whatever
you have. And in order to run those mills, they would pull the plug. They'd open the area from the pond to run downhill down Mill Street to run the different
water would run
different water mills, and that would run different things at different times whenever people needed them.
I did not know that.
And they would, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that the area where that plug is still there. And a lot of people don't realize that area is part of a land grant that goes back to Charles II. It's a fascinating neighborhood. We have phenomenal history.
Haverhill has great history.
It is,
period. I mean, there's so many things that have happened or things that have come from Haverhill, and it's what happens when you start in 1640.
Right.
We've been around a long time as a community, but I'm pretty pleased with. People think that our inner city problems are Haverhill, but it's not. There's so many, all the outlying areas, and it's not that far from. We're very fortunate to be who we are and what we can be, and even more, Winnikinny, another one that is just a fantastic park. Yeah, it's a castle, but the area, the acreage all around, and it's just so many good things going on. So, all right, who's next? Jason?
I think that we
Well, maybe if we just mention some of our accomplishments. Maybe there's some people out there that
I think we should do that.
Yes.
Yeah, there might be people out there like, they're talking about a lot of social events and things like that. But, we had some really dark areas in one of the parks, in Windsor Park. We worked with you on that,
I remember
and as
that,
well as other council members. We got a nice light in there that has helped.
Yep.
It hasn't solved the problems,
I
but
remember writing down the telephone pole numbers.
yeah, we
So I
went
could
around
get
did
that light where it
telephone pole
should be,
numbers. We did that. There were some zoning issues within the neighborhood that we've done. We're definitely working hard on the sign.
The garbage at the apartment building that came up.
We had some garbage problems at the apartment building, just using 311. We've used 311 a lot.
They have
you
become such
mentioned
a resource.
Oh, it's a fantastic resource, and it happens so quickly. When pole lights are out, 311. And it's solved. Potholes. I had a pothole in front of my house. I swear I did that at like 6 o'clock at night, and the next morning somebody was there. I don't know how that happened, but it works really good. We really encourage people
It
to
does.
do that.
I can't say enough about 311. People that use it. I love doing constituent services, but I have to admit and say that there are times that we have been told we should call as elected city officials. Call 311 because they have the conduit to all the departments and the players, and they know how to get things done. And so, once in a great while, and rather than me going to my people, what's funny is now, because they've taken over some of the lines, that if I have to either have the direct line to the person I want to speak to, or his or her cell phone, or I have to dial 311 to say, would you please connect me to so-and-so, because they really are, they're covering, and they're not covering it all yet, but as they grow, they will be taking on more responsibility, and it really is the answer to so many problems and questions. So 311 is another great thing that Haverhill has. We're one of the first communities to have a 311 constituent service line as we do.
And the ladies is so approachable, and if they can't answer something, I know when I've called right away, they'll even call you back and with an answer. So I can't say enough about them. They're great. They're fantastic.
Yeah. So
that has really worked well.
We're doing okay. Do we need another break? We need one more break, right? All right, let's do it now so we don't get too close to the top of the hour, okay? We're going to take another break right here on the Open Mic Show on WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open Mic!
Bill Macek and the Open Mic Show will be right back. Get in on the action. Call 978-374-1900. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495.
Are you listening to WHAV on cable television? If so, join WHAV in thanking the board, staff, and members of your local public access channel.
Catch the wave!
When the Haverhill School Committee meets, 97.9 WHAV FM is there live from Haverhill City Hall. Class sizes, special education, teacher hiring, and spending are among the topics covered Thursday nights at 7 when the school committee is in session. Presented as a public service from 97.9 WHAV FM.
WHAV Open Mic!
From the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom, 97.9 WHAV FM presents The Open Mic Show with Bill Macek. Open Mic is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. Make your voice heard. Call 978-374-1900. That's 978-374-1900.
And we are back. Time's flying, huh, guys? Huh?
Sure is, my God.
Look, we're in the last segment, but we'll have you back anytime you want to come back. It's been great having a conversation with the Historic Highlands Neighborhood Association. Huh? It's a great name, and you guys do a great job. But let's talk a little bit more about some of the things you do and what goes on in your neighborhood association and how you're reaching out to others, some of your accomplishments maybe. The cookbook we got to talk about again to make people know. And maybe you will even give out your email or contact you through a website or something so that people can automatically start. Is that the way you want it to happen? Do you want them to start mailing you recipes?
I do. I said that they could private message me on Facebook, and I have reached out to several groups. But I would like to reach out also to the other neighborhood associations and see if they could collect some or if they want to be involved somehow.
Sure.
Just so it can be not really a group effort, but represent everybody.
But you'd like to get all kinds of different family recipes, right? Those
your
great
favorite family
recipes.
recipe.
Not something out of the Betty Crocker cookbook.
No. Just something that makes you happy, I guess, to cook because everybody loves
something
food.
You look forward to come home.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And this isn't just about like homeowners; it's the people of Haverhill.
Sure.
So a little story about maybe you lived on the street your whole life, and your grandmother made this recipe, or just a little bit about yourself. So it'd be a summary about yourself and then the recipe and
great. And if they leave something out, you'll contact them to
absolutely
make sure they give their information, of course, so they can be identified. Now how should they go to which web page or how should they message you? Facebook or
on Facebook?
Okay,
and so they can go on our website.
What is it?
The
Historic
Highlands
Highlands
Neighborhood Association.
Neighborhood Association on Facebook.
And yes, that would be the most direct way. But there's also been people on You're from Haverhill When that are interested.
Okay.
And then there's another page for people who share their recipes openly already, and there were a few people there that were interested as well. And I'm not going to change the words. I want it to be written and preserved the way people present it. So it's not about me changing it. I want it to be representative of everybody.
That's so cool. And just so just if somebody doesn't know exactly, just get this to Mary Ann.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward what your Jason is going to come up with.
That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, what exactly am I going to come up with here?
Better be
Come up
good.
with some German food. Maybe.
That's funny.
And if there's one thing I can ask, I talked to you a little bit about that. I'm working with Alexander Golub for the Haverhill Immigrant in Origin mural. And he's done a fantastic job. And on Sunday, December 16th, between 10:30 and 12:30, there's going to be an unveiling of the new mural. However,
Exactly where?
At the Garibaldi Club at 186 Washington Street downtown.
Yeah.
So what happens is that I've been working with him and getting some restaurants to donate food and drink, and I've gotten some to come on board. Maria's has come on board, Romano's, Costello's. There's a couple of other ones.
I just thought of somebody else I need to give you.
Well, good. Well, what I'm asking, any restaurant owners out there listening, we would be happy and would love to have some, donations, whatever you can give. We're not picky. We're having anything from ziti and meatballs to club sandwiches and salads and pizza and things like that. So now we're looking for maybe some drinks, a coffee, tea, water, but anything. We don't care. We just don't care.
And you just like to have donations, contact me
on Facebook, Linda Brown, Lynda Brown, and you can get me on my Facebook page, or you can reach me through You're from Haverhill When webpage on Facebook.
All right, and that again is on the 16th. And what are the times again?
It's from 10:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
And so the reception with food will probably be getting in there about 11:15, 11:30 or so.
Sure. Well, is there a fee for this?
Nope, it's all free.
Jeez, it's like a free smorgasbord of all the restaurants in Haverhill, and how can you beat that?
And thank you out to all the restaurants who
Absolutely.
have come through.
And if another restaurant is thinking about doing it, will they be able to put their name, maybe a little stack of menus in the area?
Absolutely. We're encouraging them to bring down some menus. I'll be taking a photo with some of the delivery people or some of the owners, and we'll be giving them some ad time on You're from Haverhill. We'll be pinning it to the top and saying thank you.
What a great idea.
Right.
Nice. And also a great thing happening in Haverhill, too, with the art.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. All right. Well, we got about 5 minutes left here, gang. So what else? What have we missed? Anything?
Maybe the shortage of some of the services that are really important to the city. It seems as though we're still short on policemen.
Firemen. Name all the departments. Inspectional services.
Inspectional services.
We always, come budget time, try to get additional money, but and then people are a lot of people are focused, if they got kids, on education. So it's a tough battle. But you're right, we need more.
How do we get money? By attracting people, by attracting people who are going to be paying taxes, by attracting businesses who are going to be paying taxes.
Yeah.
And that means an attractive city that's looking towards the future.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And
you're right.
We're trying to do our part, and
I think we need to do some rezoning too, because I don't think we have quite the ample supply of land and or buildings that are properly zoned areas so that we can bring in commercial industrial, because you think about what Burlington's done with all their new and development, and today's commercial areas have the workplaces, but they also have right there, kind of at their feet, they have the restaurants, they have the the whole ball of wax is being built from the ground up for almost everything but housing, and maybe some of them even have housing right there where people don't, because transportation is becoming a new issue. Public transportation is I say as important, if not more than ever, and because it's so expensive to own a car.
And we have Haverhill and Amtrak right in the center of
Yes.
town, and it's so wonderful to get
Right.
in town.
Absolutely.
For so many people, and as that improves, we get more people coming in and out of town and paying for apartments and buying houses and renovating and making it great.
That's right. That's what we're trying to do. When you guys are part of it, you guys are really a big help. We're speaking with the Historic Highlands Neighborhood Association. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them online. They keep doing lots of good stuff, and you are all welcome to reach out for, and maybe if somebody even in their own neighborhood wanted to say, hey, can you just give me the nuts and bolts of how we can help kick off our own association? Because I don't know if that was on mic or not, but you said earlier this evening that there one time were 22, I think it was on mic, 22 associations, and now I think we've really got 3 that are kind of regular. We've got Acre, Mount Washington, and you guys.
And the village, the
Rocks Village.
Rocks Village, yeah, they're pretty
they're doing
active
a
too.
beautiful
Yeah,
job.
they do.
You know?
They do a great job down there. Yeah. So, but if anybody wants any help, and if you can't find these guys, you can reach out to me. Reach out to WHAV. We really appreciate everything that you're doing, and I speak for myself, and I know many others. And I know you're going to keep going on. You're now the Citizens of the Year. So now does your year goes until the end of next year?
Yes, it does.
Pretty close, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
So the policeman.
The spotlight's on us.
There you go. So the spotlight is on you.
Hey, we can get it 3 years in a row.
Let's
try.
Maybe
Why not?
you could be like the Patriots, win multiple years, and go on.
We need rings.
Yeah,
With the
there you
pay,
go.
with the pay, the rings.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Or maybe we could get like the Stanley Cup and put your name on it, and then it gets passed around to the
Why
different
not?
names, right?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yep.
What would we call it? It wouldn't be the Stanley Cup. We would have to call it the Highlands Cup. The Highlands Cup.
No,
The neighborhood cup.
The
Right?
neighborhood
Cup or
neighborhood
something.
cup.
The Plug Pond Cup.
All
The
right.
Haverhill Hillies Club.
Yeah, we're just vamping now here at the end of the show. Anybody else have anything substantive you'd like to talk about before we have to go in a couple of minutes? Anybody?
Just a big thank you to everybody who does support us, who
Yes,
does show up, who opens their doors at the restaurant, to us. We have had a lot of support that has been helpful.
Yeah.
And also, we do try to arrange our meetings, whether they're, we just have one at a church or we're downtown. We open up our houses. So we try to make it really convenient for people. If you'd like to join, maybe it's against your schedule or something, send us a note. And we really do try to, change it up to accommodate
And your meetings are
different
posted
times.
online if somebody
Yes,
would like
they
to.
do post
and I'm
them.
sure you'd welcome a guest from another neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've had, as you know, city council members come, to police, we've had fire inspectors come down, we've had, so we run the gamut. The police chief has come down too,
Right.
so.
Yeah, and the fire department also brings trucks or different pieces of equipment for the kids.
Yeah, they brought the
kids to
truck
play
up for
along.
the kids and
Yeah.
showed them
Yeah.
everything.
It just shows how good Haverhill is made up of people that do that kind of thing, people that are on their off hours from work helping out, making a neighborhood block party or whatever you're doing be successful. And I just want to thank you all once again for coming in, and we're going to wrap it up here, but I want to wish you all also a very happy holiday season and
Thank you.
a great 2019.
Thank you.
When I know you guys will come up with new things that you haven't even thought of tonight. So you'll just keep doing it, keep
Thank you
churning
both.
it out. Thank you guys
And thank you for
being
everything.
part of the Open Mic Show.
Thank you.
Heard every Monday night right here on WHAV from 6 to 8 p.m. We are WHAV 97.9 FM.
Open mic.
Join Bill Macek live on the Open Mic again next Monday night at 6. The Open Mic Show is brought to you in part by Smith Motor Sales of Haverhill, 420 River Street, exit 48 off 495. The opinions expressed on the Open Mic Show are not necessarily those of 97.9 WHAV FM, its underwriters, or affiliated stations. The Open Mic Show came to you from the Edwin V. Johnson Newsroom.
It's 8:01.
WHAV LP Haverhill.
Wave weather.
Now your wave weather forecast for Haverhill and the Merrimack Valley. A few days with a lot of sunshine around, but still on the chilly side of things. Dropping to 30 degrees, partly cloudy, and about a 5 to 15 mile per hour northwest breeze tonight. Will be around 10 to 20 miles per hour, making wind chills feel like they're in the low 20s. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 34. A very cold Tuesday night, clear skies, a low around 15. And then warming to the freezing mark, full sunshine all Wednesday long. I'm WHAV meteorologist Brian Ivy. Your next wave weather and